Hello everyone and welcome to another Final Fantasy video. I've been posting for a while because I've been feeling kind of like not posting for a while, but I gotta get back to the swing of things here. Now, last we left off, we had gotten to Elfheim, and I believe we were carried. I don't remember if we were or not. So we got Doma, Jared, Serena, and Kokal. Ready for another adventure, only this time it's going to be a little bit different. Rather than progressing, I'm just going to be walking around and fighting enemies. And in the meantime, I'm also going to be discussing things about the future of this channel and what I plan on doing with this series of Final Fantasy games. So, I originally planned to just play Final Fantasy 1 and go through the entire game and allow people to see what it is I grew up playing when I was young. But I've started to realize that that's not really something that interests a lot of people. Things that interest a lot of people are things that are either showing extreme dedication or are some big new game. And honestly, that's kind of like depressing to me. It's kind of hard to explain why, but it just doesn't sit right with me. But I'm not one to fight the algorithm. So rather than just playing Final Fantasy 1, I'm going to be playing every single Final Fantasy game, including the spin-offs, as bad as they may be. I will post them here on this channel for everyone to be entertained and have all the silly moments. See Final Fantasy, the good and the bad. I will be playing them in order of release, not any other weird order. So, with that said, the order would go pretty linearly at the start with Final Fantasy 1 and then 2. But then after 1 and 2, I'm going to be doing Final Fantasy Legends for the original Game Boy. Now, there is something I wanted to talk about with Final Fantasy 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, which is recently I've been given the gift of being able to purchase the 1 through 6 Pixel Remaster. And while I can't exactly switch over to it for 1 currently, I can certainly move to that one after this Final Fantasy game is over. I thought that would be some fun, exciting news for everyone. We get to experience the new remakes of these games, which comes with new orchestrated music and the type of stuff that a lot of newer gamers would like to see in an older video game. Now, if I don't manage to get all the grinding done I need for the next dungeon before the end of the video, I will certainly do some offline, because I know most of you have no attention span and just want to watch me go through the game, start to finish, and go through all the cool cutscenes and fight all the bosses. But this is still an important part of a Final Fantasy game. This specific Final Fantasy game I know by heart. I've been playing it since I was 4 years old. And I will say I wasn't as good at the game when I was 4 years old. I don't think I need to say that, but I was certainly very bad at the game when I was far younger. But learning the game from a far younger age also allowed me to gain more of a love for this game. Hold on, I'm just gonna check some stuff real quick. I'm going to turn my microphone up a little bit. If it's a bit too loud or a bit too quiet, you can tell me, and in the next video I'll adjust it. I'll really adjust like anything if it is bothering anyone. And of course I'm not only going to do Final Fantasy content, I do plan on doing other things like some Minecraft videos or maybe like something akin to that. Early game black mages are always kind of hard to keep alive. Black mages gain health far slower than everything else. If you'd like, you can also play along with this series and go through the Final Fantasy games along with me. I think that would be fun. You can post your progress in the comments. Tell me about all your fun adventures and silly mishaps. We've already reached a pretty good amount of time on this video. Each video I plan on having be about like 15 minutes long. I feel that's a pretty good number for videos. If it's a special video, I'll totally do some other stuff though. I might make a longer video just so I can do things, because I know things like the Final Fantasy VI ending is like 40 minutes long. I believe level 10 should be a good level. And I just gotta get some money, because gotta get the new spells. I could already get the new spells actually. I just need to have money for them, because those spells are expensive. Ogres are a very good source of money though, as they're a form of giant. In Final Fantasy games, giants are a very good source of money. Honestly, this is one of the only Final Fantasy games where I actually feel the need to like grind out and spend a majority of the game just killing enemies. But I feel like that's fine. Makes the game more lengthy. Personally, I find that Final Fantasy I was a very good start to the Final Fantasy franchise, as it's very linear and doesn't have a very complex story that you need to read all the lines to understand. It's just kind of like, go to the place, kill the guy, go to the next place, kill the guy. And I'm not saying I don't like story in a Final Fantasy game. I love some of the Final Fantasy game stories, specifically 5. 5 was a very good game and is in my top 3. Let's check the status. 390 XP to get Doma to level 10. 465 to get Jared to level 10, 189 to get Sabrina to level 9, 278 to get Kokol to level 9. Alright. Those aren't bad numbers. I'm gonna go to the north, because I feel like there's more ogres up there. There's a lot of... It's a lot of wolves. Once I get a spell from Elfheim, this grinding will speed up drastically. You will very notice the difference. Let me turn up the audio for the game a little bit so you can actually hear the Final Fantasy music. Honestly, it would not be Final Fantasy without its music. It feels very empty without it. I don't quite know what to talk about here. Of course, if you have any questions about anything I'm doing, or you want me to do something else, I would be totally willing to. Just pop a comment down in the comments section, and I'll probably give it a read. I don't get many comments or views, but that's fine. And some ogres. As I said, ogres are a very good source of money, so this is a very good combat to be in. During my break, I was playing a lot of the other Final Fantasy games, as, you know, I got gifted them by myself. So seeing the old death animation is very wonky to me. And there we go. I just got like 300, 500 gold from that. Just need a bit more. Now, the reason I want to get the spell from this shop is because it is a mass attack spell. Which means, rather than sitting here and having to individually drag down each wolf's health, I can instead just cast a spell and all of them die. Which is very handy when you're fighting large amounts of enemies and doing grinding. As more enemies always drop more gold and reward. We're still on the boring intro part of Final Fantasy 1. It speeds up drastically. And you'll be able to tell exactly where it's going to do that when we get there, of course. Oh, another ogre. Later in the game, there's an enemy called an ogre mage, and when I was younger, I always thought it was the Hulk. Because it looks like the ogres, but they're green. And it would always confuse me because what I thought was the Hulk had really high intellect compared to the other ogres. And I was thinking to myself, and I was like, the Hulk isn't very smart. Bruce Banner's smart, but the Hulk isn't very smart. I'm gonna probably go for that one spell before I end the video and at least cast it once so I can show off why this was all worth it. If I ever get an audience for it, I would make these videos far longer than how they currently are. I plan on going back to posting every single week. Should be good schedule. And this time I won't get caught up in random personal stuff. Let's see, what is today? Tuesday. At least that's when I'm recording this. Probably gonna post it on Wednesday though. That's a lie, I'm posting it today. It's not a lie to you guys, it's a lie to myself. I just decided that. Okay, cool, I can get that spell. I'll go for the fire one. Because that one's going to be more important for a soon dungeon. Speaking of, we're almost at the first dungeon of the game, which is very exciting. Dungeons are one of the pivotal parts of this series and franchise altogether, and I feel like once you get through the dungeons, it's an enjoyable experience. First thing to do is save, and find some enemies, preferably a large group of wolves. That's not what I wanted. I'm not going to cast it yet, because I want to see a big group of wolves. Oh cool, so we just reached level 10. Oh wait, we have 2 level 10s. Wonderful. Leveling is always a fun experience. Ah, here we go. Going a little bit over time, but that's okay. Sometimes you just need a little bit of extra time. And here comes the big spell that would have been hyping up this whole video. And that's why I love that spell. It's very handy. By the way, I think that'll be the end of this video. Remember to tune in next time, or tune in last time if you haven't watched those ones. Remember to share this with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you like this content, and comment if you want to see me do something else. See you later.